You are now listening to On Air with Lewis Hunter.
Hi there, welcome back to On Air with Lewis Hunter, where we go into the lives of celebs, professionals, and behind-the-scenes workers of your favourite TV and film. Join me as we go into their lives to find out what it's like to be one of them. Once again, we are back with Adam. How are you doing?
I'm actually grand this week.
That's good to hear, because usually you have something up.
Well, I have something up, but
We might get onto that later, depending on time. So,
Yeah.
to start us off this week, it's been all over the headlines and everywhere. You go online, you'll not find anywhere not covering this, and this is to do with the Oscars of this year. So, obviously, Chris Rock was sort of doing a bit of his comedy while introducing, I think it was Best Documentary, and he had mentioned about Will Smith's wife, Jada, and made a joke about her lack of hair, even though that is to do with, I think it's a condition.
alopecia.
Alopecia, that's it there, yeah. Which he did not know, and he made a G.I. Jane joke, which then Will Smith laughed at. That's what I don't get. Will Smith laughed at the joke, and then next thing you know, he went on the stage and he slapped him before cursing him out. So that definitely is the best Oscars moment of all time, but there was very mixed reviews on it, and now it seems people are turning on Chris Rock.
Well, that was until people found clips of Chris Rock talking ages ago, talking about the fact that he has I can't remember what it is exactly he has, but like he has a lack of social cues. Like the man he didn't even know that Will Smith was coming up to smack him until after. That's why he like sort of leaned. Like he thought, Will Smith was coming up to hug him or something. He didn't know what was going to happen, but I don't think he expected to get slapped.
Mhm.
And
mean, no one
especially
would.
after. Yeah, and people are siding on Chris Rock's side because A, no matter what, right, he didn't need to go slap, and B, they're both like Will Smith's a comedian, Chris Rock's a comedian, he's a stand-up comedian, and I mean Jada's like a celebrity. Everybody was getting fired at. She should have expected to take the heat once, like, yeah, right. Granted, yeah, she has alopecia, but at the same time, it's not a life-threatening disease.
No. And, it's their job to take the mick out of someone. Like Ricky Gervais does it whenever he does, is it the Grammys or the BAFTAs?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
granted, he didn't go after one singular person, but I suppose neither did Chris Rock.
Well, no,
He
he
went-
went after Tom Hanks, I think, at the BAFTAs.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
it's just their job, That's what they're there to do. It's to add
Yeah.
a bit of laughter to everyone. Yes, you might not feel the laughter, but at the end of the day, you're a celebrity and you're going to have people sitting there saying stuff. You just got to soak it up and just laugh at the moment, whether you agree with it or not.
Will Smith
know-
saw in the future like Doctor Strange and saw another August moment coming and knew he had to change his fate. But
Yeah, it was just quite unprofessional, and there's talks that they're going to take his honors and his awards off him for that,
mhm.
which I
Well-
think is fair enough.
Yeah, like if you're gonna go up and slap somebody like 10 minutes before you get an award, it is kind of deserved at that point.
100%, yeah. But speaking about awards, a movie that definitely will not get an award is the new Sony Pictures and Marvel production of Morbius. Now, this has a 1-star review and a 15% review on Rotten Tomatoes, making it one of the worst reviewed at the minute. It's obviously Jared Leto and Matt Smith. They are the main
Everything he
actors.
touches, he just destroys.
He's such a strange actor, like he's not. I don't know how he's a big actor because there's nothing really that he's made that is good,
Him coming into a movie set is the equivalent of you walking underneath a ladder. Like it's just going to go wrong.
Apparently, he actually acts really well in the movie. It's just the movie in general.
I know, but like you think, like what's the two biggest superhero movies, right? That came out, and they both flop. Like both Suicide Squad, right, and what was it? Yeah, Suicide Squad and Morbius. He was in flopped so hard. Like I'm sorry, there just seems to be a trend.
Yeah.
And then this podcast, I'm gonna have Will Smith and Jared Leto at my door.
They're gonna be like, I gotta use that. But no, he obviously seen with the Suicide Squad, DC was not for him. Thought, oh well, I'll go over to Marvel, try and make a better deal with it. Failed at that. Who knows where he's gonna go next? there's not much left for him in the business. I don't really see why he gets casted because yes, he's a decent actor, but he doesn't pick his movie choices well.
Yeah.
But speaking of a good turn on Marvel, Moon Knight released as of Wednesday. So that is Oscar Isaac, and we've covered it, I think, a few times on the podcast, but it's now finally out, and it is one of the best reviewed shows on Rotten Tomatoes right now and IMDb. And it is also the best Marvel TV show reviewed. So it got a 9.1 out of 10. And it's currently sitting, I think, in the 91% Rotten Tomato score. So it's a very, very, very good show. From the first episode, you can just tell how good of an actor Oscar Isaac actually is. You know, he's so good with displaying through emotions and, you know, just facial expressions, what's happening, and just even going between an American accent to a British accent. You know, it's hard to do, and his British accent isn't amazing, but you give it for what it's worth. It's a very good show. I highly recommend it. It's on Disney Plus. Episodes come out every Wednesday, which is going to be quite interesting because coming up, I believe, in a month or so, is the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And it will be coming out at the same time. Well, not the same time. I think it comes out on Fridays, but it'll be coming out in the same week as Moon Knight will be. So that'll be two shows, Marvel and Star Wars, coming out on the same week.
Yeah, they're bringing Hayden Christensen back in for that, aren't they?
Yeah, and apparently they might be bringing back Liam Neeson. Now, I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but there's a lot of talks about it.
It wouldn't make sense to, because at this point Obi-Wan's already on Tatooine. Hayden Christensen is obviously he would be Darth Vader now. And for what do you call him? Who did he play? I really forgot. Liam Neeson.
Unless they do some sort of flashback, that would be the only way I could see them bringing it. But
yeah,
I don't know. And apparently, what you call him? What have I forgotten? Luke Skywalker. What do you call him? Mark
Hayden Christensen.
No, Mark. What? Oh,
Luke. Oh, why are we having such bad what's going on here?
Mark Hamill. Has praised young Luke Skywalker a lot for this show, so that's always promising.
Qui-Gon Jinn finally Liam Neeson played. Oh my god! We are having such bad brain farts.
We do apologize for this, but yes. So apparently he might be coming back to reprise his role. So in this timeline, I assume he's not there anymore. I never really watched the episode 1, 2, and 3. I wasn't a big fan, but apparently he's coming back. So I don't know what way to do that, whether it's flashbacks or I don't know. But there's a lot of talks about him. So it'll be interesting to see two Disney productions released in the same week. But speaking of Northern Irish actors, a Northern Irish actor and director, Kenneth Branagh's movie Death on the Nile is now on Disney Plus. It was released, I believe, in January. It's a murder mystery thriller sort of movie. It's the sequel to Murder on the Orient Express. It's very, very good. I recommend watching both. Both have A-list actors, you know, filling it. Gal Gadot, Russell Brand, etc. You have your woman that plays Black Panther's sister in Black Panther. I forget her name, but she's in it. And then Murder on the Orient Express, you have the likes of Willem Dafoe. You have Johnny Depp. You have Daisy Ridley. You know, there's so many big actors. And there's ones that I haven't even named that are just as big. And it's just really good. I sat there and done sort of a movie marathon. I watched The Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and then I decided to watch the Grand Budapest Hotel. And you know what? I highly rate all the movies. With the Grand Budapest Hotel, the aspect ratio sort of changed throughout the years it goes up, and it's almost filmed in like a faster sort of frame rate, because back in the days, like back in the 30s, you would have found movies would have been sort of sped up almost, but not on purposely. I think it's just to do with the way the film came out. But overall, they're all good movies, and I definitely recommend watching all three of them. So the next topic you wanted to cover is to do with The Walking Dead, so take that away.
Yeah, so after 12 years, 11 seasons, and over 100 episodes, The Walking Dead, the main show, is finally coming to an end, which will mean the second show is finally done. We have World Beyond, which was abhorrently terrible, but maybe other people liked it, but not me. Anyway, but the main show itself is finishing its 11th and final season, filming today, which was kind of actually sad because I have been watching that show for so long and seeing it come to an end soon. Like there's only about 9 episodes left if you have MC Plus, and it's weird. Like because I would always wait every year for a new episode of The Walking Dead. Like I remember back in secondary school when I was first year, waiting for a new episode of The Walking Dead, and now I won't have that. Granted, I'll still have Fear the Walking Dead, which right now is one of the best shows I've watched. It's like a Western Walking Dead, cowboys, zombies. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, so the likes of Norman Reedus has said there, who plays Daryl, he said his sort of goodbyes and stuff like that there. There's been cast photos, of everybody inside the hilltop, including the likes of the actor for Carl, the actor, and there's rumors that Rick's in the final episode as well, and which would tie in his movies and stuff like that. They're meant to be coming out, the Rick Grimes trilogy, but we have yet to find out, and it's going to be a pretty sad day for when that episode releases because it's the entire 11 season saga coming to a close.
I mean, I'm still stuck on season 4, which we've covered a few times before. I haven't touched the show since probably October, but I'm probably never going to get to season 11. But for those avid watchers that have maybe watched it twice, like Jimmy, twice or 3 times, and those people are really into the show, it will be sad for them to see it go. But obviously, they have like 40 other different versions of The Walking Dead they've got. So,
oh yeah, like there's been 3 shows birthed from the end of this. Like the actual Walking Dead franchise is never going to end, but the main show itself is dead.
Yeah,
just as it started getting good.
I think there's too many on there, which we've talked about before. Because they can't really end it now. They're just going to go off with so many different spin-offs and kill it. But it's up to AMC what they do, to be honest with you. And it is sad to see them go. There will be a lot of actors, I assume, that won't come back. And to see the photos that what you call him, posted, the actor that plays Daryl of like
Norman Reedus.
Yeah, I seen on your Snapchat story the photos. It's crazy how much they've changed.
Yeah, like Daryl's voice especially, it went from like this loud-mouthed hillbilly racist to like a very quiet, reserved, yet very strong character, and it's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, the character development throughout the 11 seasons is definitely varied.
Oh yeah, like there a lot. Like see the second half of season 9. I think it's after episode, I want to say 6 is when, or maybe it's 5. That's when The Walking Dead starts getting really good again. They introduce a whole new list of characters, villains. They essentially reset the entire show, but keep it the same. And it's so nice and refreshing because everything has changed. It's in the future, and we're getting these new villains, and it's nothing like we've seen before. They're a very horrific group. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but yeah, it is amazing. And then season 10 comes and then finishes that saga, as we know villains usually stay for like a season or 2. And then they bring in like a whole bunch of new like communities, and everything just works so well. And I have to say, like, these last 3 seasons have been one of the best seasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of shows coming to an end, Severance on Apple TV. I believe the next episode is the last episode. This is a show I've been watching from, I think, episode 4 came out, because I got Apple TV around then, and we're now in episode 8. I'm actually really loving the show. It's basically, I don't know when it's set, to be honest with you. It's sort of, whenever they're in the workplace, it looks like sort of 70s. But then whenever they're outside of the workplace, it looks like modern day with a slight twist, maybe early 2000s. I don't know. It's really, really weirdly set. But it's basically about these workers that have severed their mind into 2, one for a workplace, one for outside of the workplace, and the 2 minds don't remember each other. Adam Scott plays the main character, Mark. and Zach Cherry plays one of the main characters. You know, there is some good actors in it, and it's a thriller. It's a very, very good thriller at that, and I do highly recommend it. I was actually recommending it to our tutor earlier today. But most people don't have Apple TV, so it's sort of a show that goes under the radar. But from getting Apple TV about a month ago, I'm actually thoroughly enjoying it. Like there's shows with like Will Ferrell, um, and Paul Rudd. That's another show. It's The Shrink Next Door. It's based off a true story. You know, there's like lots of big shows. I haven't really delved too much into it, but from what I have done, it's really interesting. I'm going to go on here and just see if I recognize any actors. Ted Lasso is a very, very good show. Um, they won 3 Oscars on their shows on one show alone called Coda: Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay. So, you know, there's definitely stuff worth watching on there. You have Tom Hanks has a few movies on it, like Finch, and he has the other World War II movie. You know, like it's just definitely worth getting, in my opinion. I think it's only like $4.99 a month, and you find shows that are a lot higher production than what are on Netflix. So if you haven't got it, you don't even need an Apple phone or an Apple device. You can watch it on your computer. Justin Timberlake has an Apple TV show that's very good on it. So does Tom Holland. And then they have some shows that aren't even Apple exclusives on it. But, you know, if you don't have an Apple device and you still want to watch it, you can go on to tv.apple.com and watch it there. And all you have to do is make an Apple account. Just simple as. So once again, I do highly, highly recommend that. There's a new Charlie Brown show coming onto it, which is an exclusive. It premieres April 15th. It's called The Small Things, Charlie Brown. So definitely worth getting. So next up, this happened yesterday. So that was the 1st of April. And this was the World Cup draw of 2022. So Qatar are hosting the World Cup in November, which is very, really an inconvenient date to host the World Cup. But they couldn't do it in the summer because it'd be too warm in the Middle East. So they had to do it in the winter. So anyone has to book off work. That's quite unfortunate, but I mean, you get a wee holiday and Christmas period. So Group A contains Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. Group B contains England, Iran, USA, and the European playoff contenders, which currently is Scotland v Ukraine. And whoever wins that one, which has been delayed to June for obvious reasons, has to play Wales for a spot in Group B. Then Group C is Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. Group D is France, Denmark, Tunisia, and the international playoff one, which I believe is between Costa Rica and New Zealand. Then we have Group E, which is Spain, Germany, Japan, and playoff 2 for the international, which is between Australia and I forgot the other team. I'll get that later. And then Group F is between Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Group G is Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. And Group H is Portugal, Ghana, Hungary, and Korean Republic. So that is South Korea. And basically, there's no conventional group of death. There's usually a group of death within these groups where it would be like Spain, Germany, like Italy, which Italy aren't in it this year, and like Portugal or something like that. But the way they've done it this year is only 2 European teams can be in the same group, and only one from the same sort of continent can be in the same group as each other. So that, therefore, they had to all be moved about. So there is no conventional group of death. But I'd say probably Group G would be pretty cool to play Brazil. So that takes place in mid-November in Qatar. A lot of games will be on BBC for free, but I'm sure there'll be some on Sky. So that happened yesterday. Idris Elba, for some reason, was one of the main people giving out the draw, which was a bit weird considering he's not a footballer and he was the only non-footballer that was there. But it is what it is. I don't know why they done that. But moving on, Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins died age 50. Something to do with drugs, and was found in his hotel room in Colombia. Now, they're not sure whether this was intentional or not, but it's quite sad to see because he was so young, but yet such a good drummer and such a good musician. And Foo Fighters obviously were very, very big. They're not as big as what they used to be, but they are still, Adam, you probably know Foo Fighters, Fight and Thinking.
No, I know my dad used to listen to that sort of stuff,
Yeah, but you know the name and you probably
oh
know their
yes.
song if you heard it. So it's quite sad about that, but I wish his family well, and I hope they keep okay.
Yeah.
So the next topic is Jim Carrey, and he is considering retiring from acting. So Adam, you find this, so take it away.
Yeah, now according to IGN on Twitter, no other source so far. I haven't really done much research, but I've seen IGN post this, so I thought it would cover this topic. And Jim Carrey is considering retiring from acting because, unquote, I've done enough. I may continue down the road, but I'm taking a break. And Sonic was a pretty big break for him. You know what I mean? A lot of people were waiting for this movie and saw him, and he played it really well. You know what I mean? It was pretty good. And the way the trailer is, I haven't seen the second one, but the way the trailer revealed him again, coming in as actually robotic, was pretty awesome. A bald head, big mustache, glasses. Granted, he's not fat, but that doesn't really matter. Idris Elba as Knuckles, though, I don't know if I like that, but I mean, it still could be pretty cool. And all I'm saying is, whenever they release Rouge the Bot, I've digressed on the Sonic 2 here, but whenever they release the Rouge the Bot live animation version, all I'm saying is Twitter will go wild. I mean, so will I. But anyway, yeah, he says, well, I'm retiring, and quote, yeah, probably I'm being fairly serious. It depends if the angles bring some sort of I'm pretty sure that's meant to say angels, and I butchered that. Angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says to me that it's really going to be important for people to see. I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break, unquote. And with a lot of the movies he's been in and the age he is, I'm sort of glad that he is taking a break because he's just been in non-stop. Like, he was in Ace Ventura, he was in Batman Forever, he was in, pardon me, he was in Sonic, and he has played in a lot of movies, and he does need that break. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah.
Now, it has very bad reviews. It's only 59% rating on Rotten Tomato. And Clarice Lockery from The Independent has wrote, there are no jokes there. There's just things you recognize. Neither does the film know what to do with Jim Carrey. He stands around trying to turn bits of exposition into jokes by gurning and over-insinuating every line. Wenlei Ma from news.com.au said it is exhausting, especially when you consider the sequel is 23 minutes longer than its predecessor. You really feel that extra time. The reviews aren't great. Robbie Collin from the Daily Telegraph said high-speed antics have never felt this slow. Jennifer Heaton from Alternative Lens said Sonic the Hedgehog 2 isn't quite the best video game movie yet, but it's very comfortable in the top 5 at least. So she gives that a 7 out of 10. It's not really a very good review. Grant Rawlings from The Sun said Carrey could cackle the phone book manically and it would make for a decent entertainment, which is not very great. But obviously second movies never do as good as the first, and considering what happened with the first movie and where it got off with the face of Sonic having to be completely changed, the Sonic movies have never really had the best reviews. So it's quite sad that if that is Jim Carrey's last movie, it's not the greatest last movie he could have had. But, it is what it is. And that's just what happens, I guess. But, moving on. Adam and I found this out whilst researching and had to try this out for ourselves. And that is Among Us. Now, Among Us for April Fools decided to change every character in Among Us to a horse, which is a bit of a random choice. But it was actually quite fun to play. It was refreshing.
I want to mention, I don't think I'm ever escaping this game. I think we've talked about this once a month.
Quite literally, yeah. The game just crawls back and does it every month. As
Yeah,
much as we don't want to play it.
every time I think I've escaped it, it always finds a way back into our conversation.
Literally, it's like we don't want to play it, but we end up for some reason playing it or seeing something on it. Like I think it was last month or the month before they released like the new rules, like the scientists and like the shapeshifters, etc. And now they've done this. And next month they'll probably release new maps or something that are going to get really good reviews and we'll have to come back. So
No, I'm not touching it. I promise this time.
genuinely,
me
should
off.
just make a segment called Among Us and just talk about Among Us for 5 minutes every month.
Please, no, I
At
beg.
this point, I know I also don't want to, but at this point, it seems like that's what it's coming to. But-
No.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Although there would be some people that probably tune in for that. Probably a bunch of 6-year-olds, like, but regardless, there would be somebody. But this is a topic I want to cover because it's personal to me, and I thought I would get out there for anyone that's tuning in before 12 o'clock today. And that is, I currently have a radio show that I will be doing 12 till 2 on Belfast 89 FM, 89.3. It's a 60s and 70s radio station, so all the classics all the time. And this is my first breakthrough for my own show for 2 hours. I am covering for somebody, but we hope that from this it will stem into something bigger. So 2 hours, just me, music, chill. So if you want to come along, you can listen by asking your smart device to play Belfast 89 or to download our app Belfast 89, or just simply go to the website at belfast89.com and you can listen there. Or if you're up in the Belfast area, you can just tune in 89.3 on your car radio. So it will be fun. Definitely tune in if you are listening before 12. I look forward to hearing you call up and sort of chat and put in your recommendations for what you would like to hear, and I'll try my best to put it in. So moving on, Bruce Willis. So this was pretty big. I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday. This was announced that Bruce Willis had to retire from acting due to a condition called aphasia, which basically is a cognitive sort of illness, quite similar to dementia and Alzheimer's, but a bit worse. And what it does basically is it starts to remove your thoughts of speaking and slowly but surely remove your thoughts of language. Now, you can overcome this. There has been people that have overcome it from continuing to read, but it's quite a hard one to overcome. Apparently, within like sets, he's been confused where he is and sort of asked, what is he doing on the production, forgetting what he was acting in. Obviously, Bruce Willis was quite big in Pulp Fiction and Die Hard, which we're mainly known for, as well as a few other big blockbusters, but he's had a hit or miss career, quite similar to Jared Leto in a sense. But it's still sad to see somebody as big as Bruce Willis have to retire without choice.
Right, Jared Leto's been no hit, all miss.
Yeah, but you know the name. He's still quite a big star, and I'm sure he cost some amount of money to get in. Like,
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
so it's quite sad to see an actor like Bruce Willis have to retire.
Yeah.
I do hope he recovers from the illness and gets back on track, but I don't know what'll happen there.
Yeah, no, he is. He's like, no, it is terrible to see him sort of have to leave like that there, especially with the market he left in the film industry. But you know, I mean, I hope the man's all good, and I don't know, I don't know sort of what I could say for that, but I do hope that he's all good and stays somewhat healthy.
Mm-hmm. Now moving into a more upbeat tone. I don't know if you could call this upbeat because the show's quite not so upbeat, but this is You. It's a Netflix show. Basically, a guy called Joe's a bit of a stalker, goes around and stalks these. He's basically a predator, is what I'm trying to get at. And season 4 of this show is being filmed in London. Now, the release date of the show still has not been confirmed, but they are currently filming. It will take, I think it will continue in Paris where it left off at the end of season 3. And then go on obviously somehow to be in London, unless they film in London but say it's in Paris. I don't know, like what they done in Moon Knight with the museum in Moon Knight it is meant to be the London History Museum, I believe, but it's actually filmed in Budapest. So I don't know what they'll be doing in London, but it'll be interesting to see, considering it's mainly set in America so far. So it's a very big show. I quite like it. There's a lot of other people out there that like it. It's almost like a thriller, but I don't really know what category you'd put it in. Have you ever watched that? You, Adam?
No, I have seen it a couple times. I've not seen it, but I've seen like the logo for it a couple times.
Mm.
But I've never touched upon it before.
You should definitely get around to watching it. It is a really good show. It pulls you in because you don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And it sets in New York for the first, I believe, 2 seasons. And then it sort of moves out of New York into a suburb area. I'm not too sure where the suburbs were, but the ending of that, I tell you what, it's not expected. But it's a very good show. I would give it probably a 7 out of 10. And I'm sure if you speak to any person, I'm trying to think what category you put them in. There's basically a lot of people that's watched the show, so it's definitely a good show. Now, something that's happened within our community is Kevin Hart. Now, Kevin Hart is obviously an A-list celeb. He's quite well known for being part with The Rock, and he is currently in Belfast filming. He was spotted, I believe it was on Monday, at the Crown Bar across from the Europa Hotel. The road was all cordoned off, and there's big lights and cameras and all sorts. I was actually down the road just on Hart Street at the radio station, walked out, seen it. I was like, oh, there's Kevin Hart, and I had to get my bus, so I didn't get time to get pictures. But he was spotted and then done a surprise appearance for comedy show at Limelight. Now, I haven't heard of anybody that I know that went to it to get a review of it, but obviously Kevin Hart doing a comedy show, it would be quite good. He has done it in the Limelight before, so to be invited back, it's obviously worthwhile. Did you ever think of going to see it, Adam?
Well, yeah, I was sort of looking at it on Monday to think about going, and then I saw it was already sold out, so I was like, right, damn. Like, it was quick, so I was like, right, sweet, I'll just do me then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll come back and probably wait another 5 years to do it again, so he's just waiting until then, really soon.
Yeah, I'll be waiting on my phone on Limelight every day. However, right, this is like another sort of subject that sort of touches upon like random sort of events. But Ben Nicky is coming to the top of the town bar in my town. What?
Why?
I have no, and I mean no idea whatsoever, but it is the most randomest thing ever. Like, I could walk about half an hour and go see it
Why don't you?
because I'm not 12. Like,
He's a DJ.
Yeah, a DJ for like 12-year-olds. It's one of those like P7 discos. You start like boogieing in front of this like girl you see for like a fruit shoot.
I mean, you have to be 16 or 18 to go see him, depending on where he plays. If it's the Telegraph, it's 18. If it's Belsonic or Custom House, it's 16.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
trying
it's
to
in a
find
bar to
info
be
on
fair.
this.
She'll probably be 18 over here.
I'm trying to find info on this and I cannot find it.
If you just look up top of the town, wait. Oh, it's just clicked in. What day is it yesterday?
April Fools.
Oh, no way. 1 second. There's no way.
You've just been so badly hit with April Fools there. I swear to
There
see,
is.
we're filming this currently in April Fools, and we have been sitting here researching, and the amount of times we've been hit with April Fools stuff, we've had to completely rechange what we want to do and talk about so many times.
No, please. Please, no. It was a joke.
It was. Ben, Nicky, Joel Corey, Shugs, Hicks, Woods, and Gormley. Oh my god, you got so badly hit with that. Oh, well.
Oh no, I can't believe that. I fell for this.
You fell for that so hard.
Oh, why did I believe it? And then there was like,
Did you not see the website link for it? www.eventbrite.co.uk/here that would be unreal. Like, The link is genuinely here. That would be unreal. Like,
God, oh my god. Why? I'm just looking at this now. This is the most depressing thing ever.
the fact that you didn't even see that link here, that would be unreal. Like,
Can we move on to the next topic, please?
oh my god. And it literally says Antrim Castle Gardens. Why would Nicky play at the Castle Gardens?
Just move on.
I don't know if we should. Like, I think we should reminisce on this for a while.
I don't want to taste this bitter in my mouth. I was so
Oh my
badly
God.
wrong.
Top of the Town is actually hosting Jerry Cinnamon. Oh wait, never mind. It's a tribute. That's a bit bad. Who would tribute Jerry Cinnamon? That's what I want to know.
Tyler Michael.
Clearly, but why? He's not. He's obviously big, but he's not that big where you need to have a tribute artist.
I don't know. I'm still depressed about that I felt straight away.
To be fair, what's good until you read the www dot, and then that's when you realize.
Yeah, see when you said
that quickly.
When you said like I don't see anything about this, it just started to set in slowly.
I'm gonna have to post that on my Snapchat and see how many people like it.
Please.
Even though it's not April Fool's anymore, it'll just be funny.
I blame this one on Olivia. That was her fault.
Why was it Olivia's fault?
Because she posted it on her story first. Olivia's being called out here. I doubt she watches this, but Olivia's being called out now because of this.
Is this Tech Olivia or your friend Olivia?
No, my friend Olivia.
She probably fell for it, you know?
No, it's not probably.
She definitely did, yeah.
Yeah, no, she definitely did.
Getting back on track, the next topic I was going to cover is Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Now, that is set to release in 3 days. It's been well anticipated. I wanted to get it. I don't have the money to get it. I don't know if you want to buy it. Feel free for me. But I've seen gameplay of it and it looks very, very good. The open world set of it isn't actually open world. It's open world within levels. So you can't just fly from Tatooine into space or from Tatooine into Mos Eisley, you know, or sorry, on Tatooine go from Luke Skywalker's house to Mos Eisley, is what I was going to say.
Do you mean open levels?
Yeah, it's open levels, yeah, but it was titled as open worlds.
Well, open worlds, like the worlds themselves are open, but
it was just sort of mislabeled to a sense, is what I'm trying to get at there.
Yeah, I get you.
But it's still interesting. And, you know, Mumble mode's available from the start, which is always fun because Mumble mode obviously was a big part of... Yeah, everything's Mumble mode. And Mumble mode was a big part of the Star Wars games. I remember playing, I think it was episode 1 to 3's games on the PS2. And like you started off in like a bar in like space. It was pretty fun. I remember that. And where Jango Fett, that, what do you call it, the sea place.
What? Oh, I know you're on about. I can't remember the name, but I know it's where all the clones were made.
Well, there. I remember going about there with like the big droids and all. That was a big part of my childhood. I love Lego Star Wars games. I'm gonna try and get it, but it just depends if I get the go ahead for this upcoming job. I've been given a Balmoral show. But if I get paid for that, then definitely I'll get it. But I also need to get money towards my Steadicam for my documentary. But yeah, so Adam, you wanted to do a Rainbow Six Siege, so take that away.
Yeah, so Rainbow Six Siege. Now I could have been getting April Fools again, but there was actual gameplay of it, and it was Fuse getting a. Well, we'll have to see. Fuse getting that Morty skin and Doc getting a Rick skin. It is going to be atrocious. Like we've already had like the Pickle Rick Rat skin and some weird like over paint coat
thing. It was 2 days ago, so it's definitely real.
Oh, was it 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, okay.
Oh, they look terrifying.
Yeah, it looks absolutely horrifying. Like if I see a Rick running in Siege, I'm running like.
I have to re-download Siege just to get this because it looked absolutely terrifying.
But like it's weird. It's so like I don't. It's the second time they've had a Rick and Morty crossover, but it's pretty cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, but
The
it's just
first
so
one,
weird looking.
the first one was nowhere near the extent that this is. Like the first one was just a couple chains and sort of like a rat outfit for I
No,
think it
no,
was Sledge.
the first one was a like a pickle Rick sort of outfit, like but with mechanical arms and shit.
Yeah, but it wasn't that in depth than what these are.
Yeah, granted. Yeah, I'll give you that.
They are just so scary. I wonder if they'll add them over into an extraction, the extraction game.
I highly doubt it, but it would be pretty cool. Running around as Rick and Morty baiting zombies or whatever they are.
Previously, players have been able to dress up operators such as Mr. Meeseeks, Chrombopulus, Michael, and
Mr. Meeseeks has been a character. Who?
I don't know. And this is what I'm just reading on PC Games.
Mr.
This is bundle number 3. Chrombopulus as well. Chrombopulus Michael, and even
yeah.
sort of Pickle Rick.
I just seen a Chrombopulus Michael and oh, it's like a hoodie type thing over. This was 2 months ago.
Yeah. They actually
that's
look quite cool than Mr. Meeseeks outfit.
Yeah, I like the Chrombopulus Michael. He's Thermite Ace.
Yeah.
Thermite one looks kind of sick, but I might get the other one for Doc and Fuse. Like I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it looks horrifying.
Chrombopulus Michael doesn't look so good, but Mr. Meeseeks looks quite good.
None of the new ones are good. I just want them because they're horrifying. That's it.
They do look good. They do look like the characters, but they're just so scary.
Yeah,
I think
is
it's the mouth
terrifying.
because obviously the mouth is meant to be where they see out of. So they've made them extra wide, and the eyes popping out, looking like they're quite literally being murdered. So, and Morty doesn't even look in proportion because he's a full-grown adult.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is terrifying.
It's accurate, but it's cursed. Is the best way I could put that.
Yeah, I want to have a re-look at this. Like, it is just, oh whoa, yeah, like it is so scary. There's a squanchy, like chain thing for the gun. Morty is Fuse. I need to like look at this gameplay real quick. Oh my god, this is horrifying. I missed the what do you call it, the banana man thing. Mr. Poopy Butthole, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my, that is absolutely horrifying.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to get one of these at least.
The trailer for it, whenever Rick turns his head around, is so scary.
It's like a horror show. It's just so bad.
And the crazy cat, I forget his name. He's a keychain.
Squanchy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
But yes.
Running at that, and like, could you imagine, right, in the Halloween mode where it's like dark and having that?
Oh, yeah, like I'm saying, this is terrifying. I don't know why this is real. Like, maybe God hates the earth, but like, why?
The characters are available as separate bundles at a cost of 2,160 siege credits each, or a slight discount together for 4,080. Mr. Poopy Butthole has been censored to Mr. PB.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like, Poopy Butthole's not that bad.
Well, apparently to Ubisoft it is because they've censored his name. I can't believe they censored that. That's unbelievable. But I think that covers everything for today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next week we will have a guest. I once again want to apologize for the uploading and delay of last week's episode that came out on Wednesday. We had issues to do with files overlapping and therefore replaying a certain song on the Lewis McTaggart episode, but it is now up. If you haven't listened to it, it went up on Wednesday. If you haven't listened to it, you can head over to onairwithlewishunter.com and visit us there. Or if you're already on the likes of Spotify, Apple, Audible, all the platforms we're on, we've had a few companies reach out to us and put us on their site. So if you're listening from there, welcome. You can find our other episodes throughout there or visit the website, as I said, onairwithlewishunter.com and listen there. But yeah, so thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week.